Hey everyone, it's Marquet here. Today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a bit controversial. Social media hacking tools. From password crackers to network sniffers, we're going to explore the tech that can be used to compromise accounts and expose sensitive information. My goal is to make you aware of these tools, how they work, and the potential threats they pose so you can better protect yourself online. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the top 10 social media hacking tools out there. First up, we've got Wireshark. Imagine being able to see all the data flowing through a network, like a digital detective tapping into the mainframe. It's a network protocol analyzer, which lets you capture and analyze every single packet of information traveling across a network. With Wireshark, someone with the right know-how could potentially intercept data, including your login credentials and private messages. But hold on, it's not all doom and gloom. Wireshark is actually a super valuable tool for network administrators and security professionals. They use it to troubleshoot network issues, identify vulnerabilities, and make sure everything is running smoothly. So, remember, next time you're connected to public Wi-Fi, be cautious about what information you're sharing. Next up is Metasploit, and this one's a bit more serious. It's a penetration testing framework, a hacker's playground for finding and exploiting vulnerabilities. Metasploit is used by ethical hackers and security researchers to identify weaknesses in systems and patch them up. But in the wrong hands, Metasploit can be incredibly dangerous. We're talking about the potential to gain access to servers, control devices remotely, and even steal sensitive information. So how can you protect yourself? Strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and being mindful of phishing scams are all crucial steps. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding how these tools work is the first step in defending yourself against them. Let's talk about Wi-Fi, because who doesn't love a good old-fashioned Wi-Fi hack? Enter AirCrackUng, a suite of tools specifically designed to assess the security of Wi-Fi networks. AirCrackUng works by capturing packets of data transmitted over a Wi-Fi network. It can then use this data to crack passwords, sniff out network traffic, and even inject malicious code into unsuspecting devices. Now, before you start wrapping your router in tinfoil, it's important to note that AirCrackUng is most effective against older, less secure Wi-Fi protocols. Modern routers with WPA2 encryption are much tougher to crack, but that doesn't mean they're invincible. So, how can you protect yourself? Strong, unique passwords are a must, and enabling WPA2 encryption on your router is non-negotiable. And if you're really serious about security, consider using a VPN, which encrypts your traffic and adds an extra layer of protection. Remember, public Wi-Fi is like a public restroom. You never know who's been there before you. Let's face it, passwords are the bane of our digital existence, and that's where John the Ripper comes in. This tool is a password cracker extraordinaire, capable of tearing through password lists like a digital shredder. It uses a variety of techniques, from brute force attacks to dictionary attacks, to guess your password and gain access to your accounts. Now you might be thinking, my password is super complex, there's no way this thing can crack it. And while that might be true for some, the reality is, many people still use weak, easily guessable passwords. That's why it's crucial to use strong, unique passwords for every single account. We're talking a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers and symbols, and for the love of all that is digital, enable two-factor authentication whenever possible. Moving on to Burp Suite, a tool that's a bit more advanced but no less important. Burp Suite is like a Swiss Army knife for web application security testing. It's a suite of tools that allows you to intercept, inspect, and modify traffic between your browser and a web server. You can see how the website interacts with your browser, what data is being sent back and forth, and even manipulate that data to see how the website responds. Now, why is this relevant to social media? Well, most social media platforms are built on web applications. So someone with the right skills in Burp Suite could potentially exploit vulnerabilities in these applications to gain unauthorized access to accounts, steal data, or even take control of entire accounts. But fear not, because Burp Suite is also widely used by security professionals to identify and fix vulnerabilities in web applications. So, what's the takeaway here? Be mindful of the websites you visit and the information you share. Remember John the Ripper, our password cracking friend from earlier? Well, meet Hydra, its faster, more aggressive cousin. Hydra is a login cracker that takes brute forcing to a whole new level. It's designed to target login forms, trying different username and password combinations at lightning speed until it finds a match. Hydra is particularly dangerous because it can target a wide range of protocols and services, from FTP to SSH to, you guessed it, social media accounts. It can automate the login process for multiple accounts simultaneously, trying thousands of combinations per second, making it incredibly efficient at cracking weak or reused passwords. So how do you protect yourself from this digital battering ram? Strong, unique passwords are an absolute must and enable two-factor authentication whenever possible. It's like adding a deadbolt to your door, making it exponentially harder for Hydra to break through. Remember, your online accounts are valuable targets for hackers. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about a tool that's less about brute force and more about cunning manipulation, the Social Engineer Toolkit, or SET for short. This one's all about exploiting the weakest link in the security chain: us, humans. SET is a framework that allows attackers to create sophisticated phishing campaigns, fake websites, and even malicious payloads that can compromise devices with a single click. Think of it like a digital con artist, using charm, deception, and a bag full of tricks to manipulate people into giving up their personal information. So how can you protect yourself from these digital con artists? Be wary of suspicious emails, links, or messages. Always double-check the sender's address, hover over links before clicking on them, and never enter your personal information on a website you don't trust. Remember, knowledge is power. Ever wondered how investigators connect the dots in complex cases? Well, meet Maltego, the digital detective's best friend. This powerful tool is all about open source intelligence, or OSINT, which basically means gathering information from publicly available sources. Maltego allows you to visually map out relationships between people, organizations, websites, social media accounts, and more. Now, how does this relate to social media hacking? Well, attackers can use Maltego to gather information about their targets, identify potential vulnerabilities, and even craft more targeted attacks. They can map out your online presence, connect the dots between your social media accounts, and even identify people in your network who might be susceptible to social engineering. But fear not, because Maltego is also widely used by security professionals, journalists, and researchers for legitimate purposes. So, what's the takeaway here? Be mindful of your digital footprint. Remember Wireshark, our network sniffing friend from earlier? Well, meet Nmap, its more reconnaissance-focused cousin. Nmap is a network scanning tool that's like having a digital blueprint of a network, revealing all the devices connected to it. It works by sending packets of data to devices on a network and analyzing the responses to determine what devices are present, what operating systems they're running, what services they're offering, and even what vulnerabilities they might have. Now, why is this relevant to social media hacking? Well, attackers can use Nmap to identify potential targets on a network, such as devices with weak passwords or outdated software. They can then use this information to launch more targeted attacks, like brute forcing their way into devices or exploiting known vulnerabilities. But fear not, because Nmap is also a valuable tool for network administrators and security professionals. So, what's the takeaway here? Keep your devices and software up to date, use strong passwords, and be cautious about connecting to unfamiliar networks. Last but not least, we have Cain and Abel, a tool that's specifically designed for password recovery on Windows systems. Cain and Abel works by sniffing out passwords that are transmitted over a network, cracking cached passwords, and even revealing password boxes that are hidden behind those asterisks. Now, you might be thinking, I don't use Windows, so I'm safe, right? Well, not necessarily. Even if you don't use Windows yourself, there's a good chance you interact with people who do. And if their passwords are compromised, it could potentially put your own information at risk. So, how can you protect yourself? Strong, unique passwords are a must and enable two-factor authentication whenever possible. It's like adding an extra layer of security to your accounts, making it much harder for tools like Cain and Abel to compromise them. Remember, password security is crucial in today's digital age. And that's a wrap. Remember, these tools should be used responsibly and ethically. Always prioritize security and privacy. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.